anyway, you being a woman, I want to put you on the spot and ask you, if you had two guys, say you were at some social event, and there were at minimum two guys there that you found handsome, physically attractive, basically two guys you would fuck. And one guy was mode one style, and he came up to you and basically let you know he wanted to fuck you. And then another guy started talking about the weather, the trees, the state of humanity, but he was doing those subtle things like rubbing his index finger on the back of your hand or in the small of your back.
I don't know, like, why are you touching me? We were just talking about the weather, now you're touching me. Wow, you're moving faster, buddy. To me, the indirect approach is kind of misleading, because when you come at me like that, that's giving me the signal that you want to get to actually know me. Like, I want to see where maybe we can go out on a date and, talk on the phone for hours on end. I mean, that's not telling me you want to have sex with me. That's letting me know that you like my personality. You're direct. The way you come about is, it's like, I'm an adult, you're an adult. Basically, like I was saying before, I'm very sexually attracted to you. Let's see where this goes tonight. And I'm like, I can respect that, because that's not leading me to believe that you're trying to look for something more. And that's where the lines of communication with men and women get crossed, because in his head he's looking to fuck, but the way he's coming across to a woman is, I'm looking to get to know you. So then that's the type of way she's going to approach him, and that's how she's going to deal with him. She's going to be like, oh, he came at me and he had good conversation and he was talking to me and he was subtle and he was sweet. He's going to want to be my boyfriend. Instead of you coming at her, you're very sexual, you're very aggressive, and you're letting her know, and you're giving her that decision, do I want to fuck or not? And you're letting it be known on the table. You're not wasting 5 weeks with me, taking me out on cheap-ass dinners, and then when you find out, oh, well, I thought you just wanted to be my friend, getting pissed. You're coming at me like, look, let's fuck, let's do this. You're giving me a choice. That other approach isn't really giving me a choice. It's already putting the wheels in motion for me to try and build a relationship with you when all you wanted to do was have sex with me.
Okay, Nikki, that's it. I'm taking you on the road with me. I'm taking you on tour with me. Because I really appreciate you saying that, and listeners, just to clarify, this
I'm a woman.
Not a setup. It's not like I gave her a script to say that. That was actually an off-the-cuff question. But, yeah, this has been, I don't want to get into a long story about this because it'll take away from my discussion, but in my line of work, that is like a major discussion, debate, etc. Because, yeah, all the indirect guys, they'll always try to basically hate on me. And they'll tell their followers, no, you don't want to take Alan's advice. Like, again, when I was in London, there was a guy at the conference who really shouldn't have been there, because this conference was for direct guys. But this guy's indirect. He's from London. And I think he was pissed because I was more popular than him on his turf. I was in London, and I hope he listens to this. I'm going to make sure he finds a way to listen to this, because I was on his fucking turf, and I had the whole audience of guys in support of me. Like, 95% of the guys there, they did not like him. He was kind of, well, I ain't gonna attack him personally. I'm not gonna do that right now. But let's just say he and I did not see eye to eye on a philosophical level. And since then, I've been, of course, hearing from my peeps over there that he's been talking about me. And I've been shooting my bars back. But, yeah, our big issue is he tried to say both in London and since then on different message boards that he recently had an interview where he was interviewing this guy. I'm actually from America. And somebody brought up my name. They said, well, Alan Roger Currie, he's, of course, he's all about being direct. And this guy was like, that is just, he talks in that, London accent.
The British accent?
That's just the craziest thing. You do not need to verbalize sexuality. You need to sub-communicate, and you need to operate on a sub-communication level. But you basically broke down what I always tell my followers. Almost, you said a variation of pretty much everything I say, is that I say to guys, when you're indirect, it's not so much that it's just flat out ineffective. You can a lot of times be successful in attracting women by being indirect. You might get them in bed by being indirect. But the catch is, it doesn't make your intentions clear. Right. You tend to be vague and ambiguous. Like you said, it's like you leave a lot of women feeling like you could go either way. Like that woman might feel like you might want to marry her one day, or you might want to be her next boyfriend.
Right.
You know, when I want to fuck, I want to fuck. Now, there have been times with me where I might have met a woman one week and just wanted to fuck her, and as we continued to fuck, the chemistry became so great that, I did end up, dating her for a while. So that can happen. You can be flexible. There's nothing wrong with a man being flexible. But there's a difference to me between being flexible and, as you just said, there's a difference between being flexible and being deceitful, being misleading, being manipulative and vague and ambiguous. And that's always been my counter argument against these indirect guys. I say, you're purposely being vague and ambiguous because you're scared of rejection and you're scared of criticism.
And you're straddling the fence. Because it's like I'm kind of...
Nikki, you're breaking it down. Say it again for my listening audience.
You're straddling the fence because what happens is you come to a woman and you're talking to her about all these indirect things, and you're sending out these little signals, but the signals you're sending are not sexual signals. They're friendship signals. I have a lot of my guy friends put their hand on the small of my back. I have a lot of my guy friends, rub my hand or talk to me about little things, and that's nice if you're just going to be my friend or start a relationship with me, but if you're really trying to sleep with me, that's not going to work because you're putting me in a different head zone. You're putting me in the friend and relationship head zone instead of me being in a sexual, okay, we going to fuck and this is what we're going to do. And that's where women and men that's why a lot of women end up heartbroken because they get with these guys and they're using this indirect approach, but she's in the mind state of, this guy really likes me. So then when he gets to fucking her and he stops calling all of a sudden because now he got what he wanted, then she's looking like, but he would just talk to me on hours and ends, and he would rub my back and he would tell me I was beautiful and look me in the eye. Well, yeah, but his intentions weren't real. He was using all of that to have sex with you instead of just coming out and saying, I find you attractive, your body turns me on, could I have a night with you? That's simple. That's what women, and guys really mess me up because they're like, they think we all want that. They think we all want to be swept off our feet and find Prince Charming and move to the suburbs of Connecticut or whatever. And a lot of times we just want some dick. We want dick. We just want to fuck, just like you want to fuck. Some guys come to me and I can, most women, I'm going to be honest with you, we can tell in 5 minutes if we want to have a relationship with you or not, just by the way you approach it. And then if you keep going from there, and we're like, dude, I already have it in my mind, I just want to fuck you, why don't you just come out and say it? But no, some guys will just keep dragging it on. And you're just sitting there like, it goes from, I was going to fuck you to now, I'm definitely not going to fuck you. Because you just come out and say it. Just come out and say what you want. Don't beat around the bush. Don't put me in this space where I have to feel like he really does like me. He really does care about me. He really wants to get to know me when all you want to do is fuck. That's lying, and that's deceitful. And that's why you have a lot of women out here who don't want to be with men, who are coming out of bad relationships because this guy was playing with their emotions for 2 years when all he wanted in the first place was sex, and then he got stuck. Something he didn't know how to get out of it, and he just kept going on. Just be honest. That's all I can tell you, Rita. If you're a guy and you're listening, be honest about your intention. If you just want to have sex with this girl, just have sex with her. If after the sex you start to feel something, then explain it to her. But I don't want to, like I said, I don't want to waste 5 weeks of my time with some bum. I just don't. Man, Nikki, I don't have the time.
Nikki, I already was just totally vibing with you and feeling you through most of this interview, but now you've just earned like 1,000 brownie points for me because, I mean, seriously, you just broke some, and the thing is, everything you're saying, again, is stuff I tell guys I do a lot of private personal consultations and coaching sessions. And again, if I was to let you peek in on, say, a week of my life as the Mode 1 book author, you would see that I deal with this issue on a weekly, if not daily basis. That's the number one thing guys always want to ask me is like, Alan, I loved your book, but part of me wants to follow the indirect philosophies, but another part of me likes your whole philosophy about being direct, but a lot of my friends are saying I should be indirect. It's now that's what it's come down to again in this industry is basically almost like this philosophical battle between the indirect guys and the direct. And I will have to concede at this point, even though I think we're gaining ground, up to this point, the indirect guys have been winning. Like most of the highest paid gurus are the indirect guys.
Like the pickup artists. There's like the show that was on VH1 a while back.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, this is the industry I'm talking about. Like the most prominent guy on the indirect end would be a guy named Eric von Markovic, who was actually supposed to be on my show this past summer, but he had a last-minute scheduling conflict. But his nickname is Mystery.
Mystery. That's where the show came from. It was Mystery, and I used to watch that show, and I thought this dude was a chode. Sorry, Mystery. I don't mean, but it was just the way he came about women, and it was like, this is another thing I want guys to know. What works on one woman will not work on another woman. And I think that's where a lot of guys, they get into this indirect mode, and they're like, oh, it worked on this chick, so it's going to work on every woman in the world. No, it's not. You have to tailor yourself to the woman that you're approaching.
Yeah. It's like, now, even though I want to say I've never talked to him on the phone. I exchanged a couple emails, and we got along, so I don't want to slam him too hard. But on a purely philosophical level, as a person, I'm sure he's a good guy. But on a purely philosophical level, that's why I wanted to have him on my show. Matter of fact, it was billed as Mode 1 versus the Mystery Method, because let's just say this. Most of my loyal male fans are totally against his principles and philosophies, and most of his loyal hardcore fans are against my principles and philosophies. But again, the area where I would concede is that, like, Mystery, he makes like $5-7 million a year.
Well, okay, that's great.
A lot of these indirect guys, they're making literally millions per year because they sell all these primarily nerdy types on the idea that if you're indirect and you're subtle, basically what it comes down to, what they're really saying is, if you're full of shit, but full of shit in a pleasant manner, in a pleasant, palatable manner, you will have sexual success with women. And I'm always like, this is such bullshit for all the reasons that you so eloquently broke down. I mean, you literally...
For what he does, there's an industry for what he does, too, because, like, for every indirect guy that approaches a female indirectly, there's, like, a breakup artist who goes and writes a book about how to heal her broken heart. So... It goes hand in hand.
You were so right. God damn, you're so right, Nikki.
It goes hand in hand. Because as soon as he fucks her, you know what he's going to do? He's going to stop texting as much, and he's going to stop calling. She's going to text him, and he's going to be like, oh, I'm busy. Or, oh, my phone died. Or, oh, this happened. And then she's just going to go into eating cookie dough raw mode. Oh, he said he really cared, and he liked me. And if a guy was just direct and told a woman their intentions, then, guys, if you want to get a woman's pussy wet, you need to be Mode 1.
See, Nikki, you know what's up. You gotta be confident, and you gotta be upfront and straight to the point. You gotta be direct. Fuck that indirect bullshit. But anyway, enough on the indirect versus direct soapbox.
Yes, sir.
Say it again.
Yes, sir.
Who's the king?
Alan, you're the king.
Say it again.
Alan, you're the king. You're dominating me.
Say it again.
Alan, you're dominating me right now. Mode 1.
Mode 1.
Daddy, can I go, please? You're the king.
Say it again.
Oh, you're the fucking king. Yes. Yes. Yes.
You're the king, Alan.
AKA the king of verbal seduction. You know, it's the tone of your voice, how seductive your intonations are, the vibrations that you could just reach out over the phone lines and stroke a woman's breast just by the sound of your voice, how you could make her pussy so wet just by the sound of your voice. That's actually very hot.
So you said my show was what?
I said your show is powerful.
Oh, say it again.
Your show is powerful.
I bet the king would fuck me really good.
Who's the king?
Alan Roger Currie.
Oh, yeah. Who's the king?
Alan Roger Currie. The king.
The king.
The king.
I have to agree with you on the communication piece, because I actually did take a session with Alan Roger Currie, and he gave me a line that I did not think was going to work, and it worked. And I was like, what the fuck?
Oh my God! Man, he's the master. He's the master of the verbal seduction. He got that communication piece down pat.
It really worked. Yeah. It just simply worked, and I just didn't think it was going to work at all.
Some guys have natural handles. Some guys have a better natural shot, but you can always improve your shot. And sex is damn sure something you can fucking learn. Look, dude, you want to learn how to talk better? I'm hiring Alan Roger Currie to get my dirty talk game on, because it's always been something I want to get better at.
Verbal seduction, man. I'm like, clearly, this guy's the Michael Jordan of seduction. Like, come on now.